You're welcome to an hour with Olusoji Oyawe. An hour with Olusoji Oyawe actually is a weekly business clinic on Instagram Live every Friday evening where I share my experience as a life coach and as a social entrepreneur in Africa and Nigeria, to be precise. While my expertise is unpretentiously local, the lessons I have learned in my now 34 years, both as an employee and the last 14 years of my life as a social entrepreneur, are of global relevance, really. So wherever you're joining us from all over the world, you should be able to pick a few things from what we'll be looking at today. Today, though, we will be looking at the secrets to success. The secrets to success with my guest, SOJ Eludu, who I'll be relieving this space for in a little while. Good evening, dear viewers and regular followers of the SOJ Eludu community. My name is Olusoji Oyawe, and I am the guest on an hour with Olusoji Oyawe today. Today, I just want to talk to us on the secrets to success. Do you know that successful people do not share the secrets to their success? Quoting the General Overseer of the Redeemed Christian Church of God at last Sunday's service, they don't share their secrets because it is no longer a secret once it is shared. So successful people don't share their secrets, otherwise it won't be a secret anymore. However, successful people usually share their secrets with those that they are very, very, very close to. Unfortunately, they usually do so on their deathbed. Today, however, I'll be sharing some secrets for success with you today. I am not dying, and I'm yet to attain the level of success that I desire and envision. But I'll be sharing these secrets with you because you're very special to me, because you're part of the SOJ Eludu growing community, and that means a lot to me. The secrets to success can be summarized into two words: gratitude and service. Gratitude and service. Let's start with gratitude as one of the secrets to success. Then after that, we'll go to service. My focus on gratitude was heightened lately, actually inspired by my colleague, Anu Aboeji. We work together. She invited me to a 30-day gratitude challenge that started on the 2nd of May, and it runs up to the 31st of May. Today actually is the 21st day of those daily challenges. Every day, one of the 28 participants that signed up to her invitation, by rotation, provides a guide on something to reflect on and be grateful for. Things like our heart, grateful for our heart, grateful for family, grateful for knowledge, grateful for work, grateful for humor, grateful for music and dance, grateful for the sun, grateful for our African ancestry and our heritage, grateful for the roof over our heads, grateful for our past, grateful for the opportunity to give, grateful for good friends, grateful for the opportunities to give, grateful for our health, grateful for our talents, our giftings, safety and journey mercies. These are some of the things we have had to reflect on daily in the last 21 days. We are encouraged to spend 5 to 10 minutes each day going over the word for the day, then writing down our reflection on what we are grateful for in a journal. And where required, call or send a chat to the person you are grateful for giving you that memorable experience for that day. Needless to say, it has been an awesome experience. And Anu, I hope you're on one of these channels. I'd like to thank you for that inspiration. Now, I'd like to share with us, with permission, some of the reflection that I had when I looked at family in one of the days that we dealt with gratitude. And this is singling out my daughter, and I'm sharing this with her permission, right, as one of the things I'm grateful for within the family and family as a whole. So when I was done that day, I felt inspired to share with my daughter how grateful I am for her being in my life as part of the family gratefulness. And this is what I sent to my daughter. Good morning, Anjola Olua. This morning, I woke up thinking of family and what to be thankful for. Then, quite a lot came up. But then, you are one of the things I'm grateful for in this family. I thank God and you for the godly strength you possess, through which you continue to demonstrate unconditional love to me and to others. You have transformed me in more ways than you know, and you inspire me greatly daily to keep going. Thank you, Mama. And within 10 minutes, my daughter responded, and this was her response. Again, I'm sharing with her permission. Good morning, Dad. Thank you for your kind words. Then she had a prayer sign and a heart. Now, that made my day. That's one way to show gratitude. So again, I know I thank you for this. Now, I'm sure you've heard it said also that we are to be thankful always. Thankful can be used interchangeably with grateful, by the way. Being thankful or being grateful has to be an attitude of the heart. But honestly, how can we have this attitude continually, especially in all circumstances? It's pretty difficult. I believe the answer lies in our perspective of thanksgiving or being grateful. There's a right perspective that we all need that most don't have. We need to have the proper perspective to thanksgiving or being grateful. And I'd like to share that perspective with you. Now, I believe there are 3 attitudes that steal away our gratitude. 3 things that keep us from being thankful. And we must avoid these 3 if we want to be successful. Again, we're looking at this time at gratitude as one of the secrets to success. So there are 3 attitudes that creep into our lives that we need to do away with if we want to be successful on earth. And I'll go over each of them. The first is pride. Pride is an attitude that steals away that desire to be thankful. You know, that attitude that says, nobody gave me anything. I worked hard for everything I have. In fact, I studied so hard, I acquired the best degrees. My contacts and my intellect is finally paying off. With this kind of attitude, we feel that we have no one to thank but ourselves. You can't have a heart of gratitude if pride dwells in you. Secondly is a critical spirit. That spirit that is constantly complaining. A farmer that is known as an incurable grumbler, right? Constantly complained about everything. Then suddenly, he had a bountiful harvest, and his colleagues felt finally he would have something to be grateful about. So they walked up to him and said, "You must be very happy, John. Everyone is saying how healthy your potatoes look this year. What a bountiful harvest." Guess what his response was? True, they look pretty good. But what am I going to do when I need bad potatoes to feed the pigs? Did you get that? He's always had a bad harvest. The year he had a bountiful harvest, rather than be grateful or thankful, he was now wishing he had some bad apples to feed his pigs, because he didn't want to feed his pigs with good apples. So that critical spirit steals that capacity to be grateful. So you must watch it, and it creeps in slowly. Third thing that steals that capacity to be grateful is carelessness. So first is pride, second is critical spirit, third is carelessness. Someone once said, if the stars only came out once in a year, we will probably stay out all night trying to watch the stars. But the stars are out practically every night. So we just ignore them. We don't even seem to notice them. I'm a person of faith, and regardless of what your faith is, I love you, you're my brother, and you're my sister. Remember, the Israelites grumbled because they had no food to eat. So God miraculously gave them manna, that's crust-like bread, that covered the ground every day for them to eat, except on Sabbath day. Then they started to grumble because it was the same manna every day. Remember, they didn't have food to eat before this was provided. But suddenly that carelessness, that complaining spirit set in. That is the same food every day. They had a miracle straight from God, but they were no longer satisfied. We humans also, often because of our pride, our carelessness, and the critical spirit, we are never truly grateful for all that God has given us. You can't be successful if you are not grateful for what you have. That's a fact. You can't be successful if you are not grateful for what you have. Now, thanksgiving is one word that is seldom heard and rarely spoken and too often forgotten. If we could all adopt an attitude of thanksgiving into our lives will be changed. We will truly be successful each day. Have you noticed that even when we remember to be grateful, perhaps when praying, we just do so in the general? Oh, thank you, God, for all your blessings, instead of naming them one by one. Oh, thank you, God, for your provision, instead of naming them one by one. Oh, thank you, God, for my health, instead of naming them one by one. I can see, I can hear, I can touch, I can feel, I can smell. Right. So even in being grateful, you need to name them one by one. So what blessings specifically are you thankful for? I've just mentioned a few. Look at me, related to my age. I'm grateful for that. It's specifics, it's not just my health. I stand up unaided. If you can't be grateful, you can't be fulfilled or successful. Now, our thanksgiving should also include the burdens of life. So it's not only when things are looking good that you need to be grateful. And this is a tough one. By the way, I never thought I'd say this. I have learned to be thankful in the difficult circumstances my family has faced. Now, notice I didn't say I was thankful for the circumstances. But what I said is I was thankful in the difficult times. They're two different words. I'm not being grateful for the circumstances, but I'm grateful for while I'm in those circumstances. Why? Because being thankful in those circumstances allows God to use His greater good, and it turns out completely great. And that has been the story of my life, from failure, rejection, and all kinds of situations. It's not an abuse of grace. It's being thankful even for the bad, painful circumstances. For being in them, while in them, not for them, but while in them, being grateful. Right. An experiment was done in New York Central Park, where an advertising firm dressed up a man that is blind and gave him a cup to collect money. He wasn't blind, so they dressed him up looking blind and gave him a cup to collect money. And they put a sign around his neck. And on that sign they wrote, "I am blind." And of course, passers-by were dropping all kinds of pennies into his bowl. On that day, he was able to collect $4 at the end of the day. The next day, they dressed the same man up, placed him in the same spot, and this time they changed the sign to read, "It is springtime and I am blind." On that second day, he collected $40. What was the difference? Suddenly, everybody that passed by realized that it was springtime. This guy is blind. He can't see the beautiful flowers blossoming. He may hear the birds, but he couldn't see the colors around the air. So suddenly they became grateful for their sight. It was the same blind man the day earlier. Sometimes we're like that. When the burdens of life hit us, including the coronavirus and the pandemic, what are you grateful for? Oh, if I'm to list mine, believe me, we won't leave here today. Let me round up on gratitude as one of the secrets to success by sharing from an incident in the Holy Book again. Again, whatever your faith is, I love you. I'm of the Christian faith. You're my brother, you're my family, and my sister, whatever faith you belong to. There was a gathering of a large number of people, reportedly over 5,000 people. They were hungry after a crusade, but there was no food even to buy for them. Then miraculously, we saw how a meal that was not enough to feed a family of 4 fed over 5,000 men, not counting the children and the women present. What happened? What happened? A very simple thing called thanksgiving and gratitude is what happened. You see, whether it is gratitude or complaints, we choose to hold on to. Both are keys. They unlock different doors. I choose to be grateful. And that is one of the secrets of my successes. Sometimes I just open my fridge in the house, and before I pick anything out, I just say a quick prayer. God, thank you for this fridge being this full. Because I know many people who can't even afford just one meal. And here is me, I can't just take it for granted that almost anything I want is there. Oh, I get up from my bed unaided at my age. Oh, I'm grateful. Sometimes I stand up from a chair like this, I say a quick prayer of thanksgiving that I could stand up unaided. What are you grateful for? That is one of the secrets of success. Back to my story of the 5,000, over 5,000 that were fed. Now, that story is in Matthew 14, if you want to go over it again. Remember, the disciples went up complaining that the food was not enough to go around. But Jesus did 3 things. He did 3 things. First, he acknowledged, he realized the situation and asked them what was available. What was available was the first thing he did. And he was told 5 loaves and 2 fishes. 5 loaves and 2 fishes. Second thing that God did was, Jesus did was, he did not panic. Over 5,000 people and there's only 5 loaves and 2 fishes. He wasn't panicked. The second thing he did was, he received what was available. You know how many people you try to speak to, and as you're giving them counsel and giving them how to work on their faith, the response is just discounting what is in their hands. That's one of the books I wrote, by the way. What is that in your hand? So first thing Jesus did was, he acknowledged what was available. 5 loaves, 2 fishes. Second thing, he received what was available. Now, the third thing he did, that is where the real secret is. He lifted the bread and the fish up and he gave thanks. For what was not enough, he gave thanks. Then in verse 20, the miracle happened. The 5 loaves and 2 fishes fed the 5,000, excluding women and children. And there was still enough left. Why? Because he gave thanks for what was not enough. Gratitude is the key to success. Whatever it is you have, no matter how little or inadequate you think it is, did you give thanks about it? When was the last time you acknowledged even the giver for that? Now, let's look at service as a secret to success. I think we're good for time, so I just may be able to take quite a few questions by the time we're done. And for your questions, I will only be able to pick the questions from Instagram. So when the time is up, please just note that you need to be at Sojiwoye on Instagram for me to be able to read your questions. It will be difficult to navigate through the different channels of Zoom, Instagram, and Facebook at the same time. So now let's look at service. Service as a secret to success. You see, when you are selfless and constantly seeking to serve others, you will be successful. That is a fact. When you are selfless and constantly seeking to serve others, you will be successful. You may have read the story of Professor Olagunju Ogunbiyi, that medical doctor that trended over the last 1 week worldwide. Nigerian, by the way. Proud to be a Nigerian. Professor Ogunbiyi is a Nigerian professor of colorectal surgery, a consultant surgeon, a professor at Royal Free Hospital in England, who was infected with COVID-19. He ended up in the intensive care unit. It's reported that the best doctors in England battled hard to save him. Why? Because according to them, he was irreplaceable. That is service. The kind of service that leads to success. What are people saying about your own service now? and you want to be successful, can anyone go out of their way? Now, a few days ago, I just to achieve this broadcast in 3 channels, I needed a little clip behind my phone to hang my phone up. And I didn't exactly send anybody. I just voiced it out in the office amongst my colleagues. I tell you, within an hour, clips surfaced. People went out to go and buy it for me. I didn't tell them to get me anything in particular. So when you serve, you will be successful. Selflessly serving. The secret to happiness or success is in helping others. Winston Churchill said, "We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give." Again, Winston Churchill said, "We make a living by what we get. We make a life by what we give." Serving others has nothing to do with what you have. It has more to do with what you do. Being selfless towards others. So it's not about what you have. Service is about what you do, not what you have. See, when looking for who to use, God always bypasses the adequate somehow. On his way, he's always looking for the inadequate. So the more inadequate you are, the more you lack. That really is when you're a channel of a blessing to others. And that is when, serving others is like water passing through a pipe. There's no way water will pass through a pipe and that pipe will not remain wet, even after the water is gone. And I tell you, that wetness that remains in that pipe is more than sufficient for what that pipe needs. That's my philosophy for life and serving. When looking for who to use again, God always bypasses the adequate and looks for those who are inadequate. It's a state of mind. Because it's never about you or me. He that sends us to serve always equips. Everyone is equipped. But our assignments are different, which is the frustration some people have. You want to serve like Ade, or like Shade, or like Ahmed, or like Ngozi, but your assignments are different. And in the same way, the equipment that is given to you by those assignments are different. Stay in your lane. Stay in your lane. I'm a life coach, I'm a business coach, but I have coaches and life and business coaches who I look up to. I admire them and I learn from them, but I don't envy them. Because I'm not them. They're in their lane, I'm in my lane, and I'm satisfied with my own path. Stay in your lane. You are equipped to serve. Stop trying to look for something else. Use what is in your hands. No wonder Zig Ziglar said, "You will get all you want in life if you help enough other people get what they want in life." That's a secret. Everything you want in life, stop worrying about yourself. Start trying to help others to get what they want in life. That is a proven path. I tell you, that's a secret to success. Service, gratitude and service, that's a secret to success. Service begins with you being faithful with what is in your hand. Motivation always follows action, which is the other thing I need to quickly chip in. Sometimes we let our emotions hold us back. The thing about feelings is you don't need your feelings. You don't need to feel it to do it. Motivation always follows action. Motivation always follows action. So serve. The motivation follows. There are many times I wake up in the morning and I just don't feel like getting up. But realizing this principle that motivation follows action, I just get up. And guess what? By the time I put my feet on the ground and I lift my body up, the motivation follows me. But if I had stayed back because I wasn't feeling like it, same way with serving. Don't hold back. Serve others. Motivation, passion will follow you if you have the courage to go without them. So don't let how you feel hold you back. No. Serve. Serve every chance you get. Serve every chance you get. Execution, by the way, is action-based. It's not thought-based. So just execute. Oh, you don't want to know what went on before I got this on at 8 p.m. today. I left my office about 4:30 to get home on time. I got home at 5 only to realize that one of the equipment I needed, I left it in my office. Thankfully, a colleague was still not too far away from the office. So he turned back, picked it up. By the time he brought it to me, I found out he also didn't pick everything I wanted. This was 7:30 p.m. You don't want to know how crazy I went. But then I gave thanks. And I realized the devil was obviously trying to make sure this program doesn't go on. Because I believe someone out there, or some business, or some individual out there is being transformed, even by this session. It's more like, like a sermon, pardon me. But that's the way I feel inspired for an hour with Olusoji Oyawe to be today. Guess the saving point, it suddenly dawned on me that, wait, I can use my wife's laptop. So I just quickly grabbed my wife's laptop. And I'm not familiar with it. I use a Mac product, she uses a Microsoft. But here we are, everything going on smoothly. Why? Because I didn't let how I feel hold me back from acting and executing. So motivation always follows action. Don't let it hold you back. Now, there's beauty in service because it fulfills the law of reciprocity. The law of reciprocity sets in when you serve. That is success. Because as you serve others, they want to serve you back. It's not eye service. When you genuinely serve and serve selflessly, they will find ways to serve you back. These days, a lot of the things I use, I either don't pay for them or someone just provides it. And it's amazing. You know, things just get thrown at you. And I just smile. And what I do instantly when those things come my way again is what? Gratitude. I thank God again for the platforms, for making those things happen. So gratitude and success, those are the secrets. We have gratitude and service, those are the secrets to success. Now, here's the right perspective for service. Now, I gave you the right perspectives for gratitude. And I said avoid pride, avoid the critical spirit, avoid the complaining spirit. There's also a perspective for service that you need to have. And the right perspective for service is to recognize that what is mine is not mine, and I'm going to manage it. Whatever is yours is not yours. Manage it. That's the right perspective that moves us into service. What is mine is not mine, and I'm going to manage it. All that you have is not yours. It was given to you in trust. Because you'll pass out of this world at some point. Do you take them away? No. You leave them behind here. Your intellect, your creativity, your physical body, your beauty, your money, your business, your family, everything. You and I are just holding them in trust. That is the right perspective for service. That is why we have to manage it well until God needs it. And how does God need it? He draws our attention to what He's doing around us and expects us to join Him in that work. That is service. When we die, we can't take it with us. If you don't give it all away when you have nothing, even when you have something, you won't give it away either. Quoting my friend and mentor, John C. Maxwell, people who don't have this revelation, they don't have money problem. They have a mind problem. Again, people who don't have this perspective of service, and the perspective being all we have is not us. We're holding it in trust for God to be used by Him when He calls us or draws our attention to use it. And quoting again my friend John C. Maxwell, he said, people who don't have this revelation, they don't have a money problem. They have a mind problem. Dear viewers and listeners, I am God's delivery boy. Like a dispatch rider. I'm a delivery boy. God sends you and I with gifts. They are not ours. We don't deserve them. Just like that dispatch rider, he picks up a package or a parcel, delivers to the other person that is to be delivered to. It's not his. He's just collecting and delivering. That's what you and I are here on earth to do. That's a secret to success. God simply gives the gift so that we can be His delivery boy or girl. So for me, SOJ Oludu here on an hour with Olusoji Oyawe, I'm just human. Here I'm providing service. Again, he's equipped me. He's given me a gift. I'm just releasing it to the end user. I'm just delivering the gifts God has sent me to give to you. As I begin to round up, then I'll take a few questions because we're good for time. Right. Do you know why many people don't struggle to find anything to be grateful for? Or why they fail to serve others? For many people, they don't. They're not grateful. They don't have the perspective for being grateful. And they don't serve because they have a lot of problems. And I get that. But do you know the easiest way to get rid of our problems? Is when we die. That's the only time we get rid of our problems. Now, don't get me wrong. Just go to the cemetery. That's where you find those without problems. So if you don't want problems, maybe you want to be in the cemetery. Because problem is a sign of life. Problem is a sign of life. Problem is a sign of life. For as long as we're here on earth, problems will continue to happen. And we can't solve all our problems. No one can. No one can. But we can handle them. And the way to handle your problems again is to be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for what you have. You know how many people send me chat, oh, I'm so broke, I don't even have food to eat. Guess how they are sending me those chats? Instagram message, meaning they had money to buy data. Oh, there's a problem there. Just be grateful for what you have. So here's my recommended solution to problems. My recommendation to solving problems is just pray the Serenity Prayer. And you can Google it if you don't know it. Pray the Serenity Prayer. The prayer goes thus: God grants me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. It's a fantastic prayer. Just Google it. Put it up on your phone. I've been praying this prayer for a long time now. So if you see me and I seem to be calm in spite of this series of issues that I'm confronted with, I just pray the Serenity Prayer. God grants me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. You see, life is full of choices. But here is the key. After we make our choices take over and make us. But if we've made a wrong choice and you don't like it, make another choice. For as long as you are alive, you can change those choices. And life is full of compromises. There are many things we can't choose in life. You can't choose a family you're born into. I'm born in Iludu, to the Oyawaye family in Iludu in Kwara State. I'm born in Nigeria. I'm African. And I love it, by the way. As you know, that's why I'm SOJ Iludu. I'm very proud of my heritage. Sometimes, or many times, we don't have control over the card that life throws at us. But we can choose how we play the card. Now, I listened to, I think it was Gary on Pastor Bisi Akonde's leadership webinar over the weekend, and something transforming that I picked from there is that statement that usually says, if life throws you lemons, make lemonade. And that's the philosophy I've always had. But Gary said, no. He said, lemon. So lemonade is not what I want. So I won't take lemonades. I won't make lemonades out of lemon. I reject the lemon completely. Then I go for what I want. And I've just shown you how to get what you want. How you get what you want is be grateful for what you have, then serve others. Serve others. Stop worrying about yourself. Serve others. It always translates into success. A heart of gratitude and a life of service always stirs up positive choices and always leads to success. The challenge is sometimes we expect to see those successes in 1 year, in 1 month. like I said at the start of this session, I've worked now for 34 years, 19 years as an employee, the last 14 years running my own business. So you want to be like me? Oh, you need 34 years. But you know the beauty of it? Get a life coach like me. Get a business coach. Then you can reduce your own 34 years to maybe 20 years. That's what coaches do for you. Thank you very much. I'm done, and I hope I've shared the secrets because I love you. Gratitude and service. Now, again, I thank you for watching and joining the growing SOJ Ilodo television community. Until next week again, when I come your way, I thank you and I'm grateful for your joining. And I need you to also constantly have the right perspective, be grateful, and serve. And you will be successful. You will be successful. Thank you and bye-bye.